alphabet series slash sequence. What information are we looking for? In this question format, you need to deduce the sequence or sequences, okay, of letter pairs presented okay. Let's just slow down there and have a look at what they're talking about. So we have to find out sequences from the letter pairs that they've presented. So let's just look at the example first and see what they're talking about. What letter pairs are they talking about? What I see here is find the next letter in the series A, C, E, G, I, K. Okay, well, if it's talking about pairs, I think it's talking about like this, right? So these are going to be the pairs, IK, and then we have to figure out what's going to be here, right? What's going to be in this pair. So it's either going to ask us to figure out what's going to be both of these letters or just one of them, but that's sort of what the first section of this instruction seems to be telling us to do. So let's fill in the blanks to complete the series, okay? It's crucial for you to grasp the concept of sequences before attempting this. You can start by working through number sequences and patterns to ensure a solid understanding, okay? So let's just have a look at what they're talking about with this number sequences. So I've just scrolled up to the contents page, and you can see here question type P, number series. It's basically saying that you might want to make sure that you know how to do these before you try alphabet sequences. So I'm just going to quickly have a look. This is very simple, as you can see. It's just a sequence that they're asking you to do. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then you have to figure out what's going to come here next. And the reason why it's told us to have a look at this, if we're a bit confused, is because what they're doing is the same thing, but with letters in an alphabet. So it's going to be something very similar. There's going to be something going on, such as +2, to these letters in the alphabet. I'm just going to go through this example again. So what you can see is happening here is something is happening from A to C, and C to E, E to G, G to I to K, right? And the reason why it's labelled it out here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So that's just the alphabet sequence, and what it's saying is the sequence is basically skipping one out, and therefore the missing letter here is actually M, because you can see it's jumping by 2 at each section. And if we look at another example, in this sequence, X, U, R, O, L, I, first you have to figure out what is happening to go from X to U. So look at the actual alphabet that they'll give you, like up here for example. And how are you getting from X to U? Well, you can see you're going back by 1, 2, 3 positions. That's why here it says -3, okay? And then if you go from U to R, what are we doing? Well, we can assume it's going to be -3 again, but let's just have a look. 1, 2, 3, yeah, there we go. And that's why it says -3. And what you want to do is you want to check for the whole sequence, because what you might find, sometimes it might not be -3, -3, -3, -3, -3, right? It could be a different thing. It could be maybe -3, -2, -1, -0, +1, you know. So you're gonna have to check all of these, and then figure out what is it going to be that have to do to I, or the last letter, to find out what the missing letter is. And you can see here in the example that they've already done that for us, and that I is going to be -3 as well, and that's going to give us F. And that is why the answer here is F. But if we have a look at some of the other examples, you can see down here, you can have different sequences going on. And if I zoom in, yeah, there we go. You can see here, from in this sequence, it's going +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then obviously if there's one more here, you can assume it's not going to be +6, it's going to be +7. Okay. And this is sort of, you have to look at the rule that's happening here. And if we do that again on this one, it's going +1, +3, +1, +3, +1, +3. So obviously how they're figuring this out is they're looking at how did you get from B to C, how do you get from C to F, how do you get from F to G, and then you sort of see a pattern here, and that way you can figure out n is not going to be +3, it's going to be +1. And another one here, these are some very useful things to have a look at, because these are things that can come up, and actually you can compare most of these and you'll be able to find the rule in one of these. So there's another one here. You can see what you might be doing is it might be going from A to B. It might be skipping one, and the series is happening between skips. So it goes A, B, C, D, and you can see here it's going K, M, O, Q. So these are some different ones that you can find out. This is another simple one where it's just getting bigger each time. So +1, +2, +4, +8, +16. What do you think is going to be the next plus? Well, you can see these are always doubling. So it's going to be 32. And the same thing here. +1. This is going to be +1, and then this is -2. +3, -4. +5, -6. You can assume this is going to be +7. And that is the reason why you have to basically label them out exactly like they've done here with these arrows before you can come to a conclusion as to what it is that needs to be done to find the last letter. So quite a long introduction, but there's only 9 questions here, and we're going to get through them very quickly, hopefully. So we're going to do the exact same thing that they taught us to do, which is draw these arrows and then label out what's actually happening between these. And obviously if there's nothing we can find there, we might have to look at a sequence like this one where they're skipping between them. So let's go B to C, it's +1. C to E, if we just count up using the alphabet here, 1, 2, that's +2, right? E to H, we can count on our fingers as well, so E, F, G, H, right, that's +3. H to L is going to be E, F, G, H. I, J, K, L, +4. And now we've got the whole system here. There's nothing else we need to do. All we have to do is apply it to these next two answers. And you can see here it's asked us for 2 of them. So this one's obviously going to be +5 because it's getting bigger each time. This one's going to be +6. So now we have to actually figure out what is L plus 5. Again, you can look up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives us Q. And then what's Q plus 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just W. And that's our answer for this one. So let's go to question 2. T to S. Actually, no, that is -1. S to Q. That's -2. If you think QRS, right? Q to P. Again, that's going to be, I think, probably -3. But let's just try. QR. Okay. H. P. QR. Okay, so P is 1 behind Q. So what's happened here is -1. So this is why you can't just assume that it's getting to -3 to -4 to -5. We have to look at this as well and see what this pattern is. So if we look at how we get from P to N, it's -2. And now you can see the pattern here is going -1, -2, -1, -2. This is going to be -1. N -1 is M. And just to show that again, go back from N by 1, you get to M. Okay, question 3. So C, F, H, K, M. Okay, so C to F is A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, F. That's +3. Go from F to H, so G, H. So E, F, then you go G, H, right? That's +2. And then go again from H to K. I, J, K. That's +3. And then if we go from K to M, sorry. So it's H, I, J, K. L, M, N, O, P. So I went way past it. L, M. There you go. +2. H, I, J, K, L, M. And there you go, you've got the pattern there, plus 3, plus 2, plus 3, plus 2. And this one's going to be plus 3. Yeah, if we just, it's much easier when you use this, really. What's n plus 3? It's p. And that's our answer. And it doesn't look like they've given us here. In the next section, down here, you've got the alphabet with you, and that'll be, yeah, it'll help you do it a bit quicker. And let's carry on with these. Question 4. So how do we get from k to I? What we do is we do minus 2. How do we get from I to j? Minus 1. How do we get from j to h? Sorry, this is plus 1, my fault. H, I, j, k, right? And then how do we get from j to h? It's minus 2. How do we get from h to I? It's plus 1. So this one is going to be minus 2. And let's have a look at what that will be. It will be g. G. There we go. Question 5. So y to x. This is minus 1. How do we get from x to v? It's minus 2. How do we get from v to s? Let's quickly look at this. I'm just going to rub these out. V to s, this is minus 3. How do we get from s to o? One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's minus 4. And there we go, we see the pattern there. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. It's going to be minus 5. And it's going to be minus 6. And if we just continue on with that. So O minus 5. 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be J. And then that minus 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be D. So this is going to be J and D. Okay, I'm going to leave these ones for you to do actually, and if you do manage to do them, leave them in the comment section. I'll leave the answers. Actually, I'll pin whoever gets the right answers for these 4 questions. And yeah, hopefully that was useful. One of them, I think, is very likely to have a trick question, like this one, where you get +1 and +2. +1, +2, or something like that, where they skip a beat, but be careful of that. But yeah, have a go at these, leave them in the comment section, and hopefully that was useful.